Tiger Rod Lawrenceville. Mr. Mosteller here with Technique Tuesday. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the side kick and the details for the side kick. Side kick is one of the most important kicks because it's going to generate the most power when you do it correctly. So the side kick, because it's got the most body weight behind it, because force equals mass times acceleration, and the mass is going to be the highest on a side kick, it has the potential of generating the most power, most force in a kick for Taekwondo. But for that to happen, some certain things have to be in place. So key elements, number one, is to make sure that when you are throwing your kick, the foot that you're standing on pivots. So if I'm going to kick in this direction, the foot I'm standing on, you should notice, turns, and the heel is pointed in the same direction that I'm going to kick. If you don't do that, you don't have the support of your body, especially of your knee. If you think, my knee bends this way. So when force is pushed out this way, it's driving it, and if I receive resistance coming back, my knee is made to bend that way and made to push back using my quad muscle, and that lets me keep my position and keep my force. But if my knee is not made to bend sideways, so if I have resistance coming back, it doesn't hold. It actually puts damage on the knee, or you just simply stumble over because there's no way to actually bend and push back and hold that position. So that pivot, turning that bottom foot, that's going to be incredibly important. Now, the other thing is that your knee and ankle are same height as you're setting up to drive your kick. So from here, if I'm doing this and then swinging up, my force is going upward, not just forward. I want all of my force going forward, going into my target. If I'm not making all my force go into it, it's a wasted amount of energy, a wasted amount of force. So making sure that that's level, and then lastly, that the knee pulls back as much as possible. I like to think of it personally as trying to make my knee touch my back hip. So I'm trying to pull that in. Obviously that's not going to happen, but that's where I'm pulling, where I'm trying to reach for that back hip with this knee. Then I drive it straight out. When I drive it out, I'm driving the heel forward, so the toes should be pulled back, and then retract that leg back. Now, a great way to practice that is something like a side kick over a chair, where you're literally putting your hip right at the chair and then making that lift up, so your lift is straight and level and going back. Obviously, if you are shorter, you can use a shorter chair, use a smaller object, something like that. But it's a great way to practice that lift and get up and over. That way you get used to that automatic lift being level, automatic knee and ankle same height, and being able to drive everything forward. And then it forces the retraction to come back as well. I should be able to throw a side kick in very tight against my opponents. If I'm here, I should still be able to lift up and throw, even if I just have to use that to distance away from that person some. So it doesn't have to be as perfect distance, perfect setup where I'm driving in this position. If I lift correctly, I could be in very close and still make that work. Make sure you're practicing your side kick at home, and I will look forward to seeing some great side kicks here on the mats.